So I get up the other day and my crotch nuggets are whining like they had a drunken bar fight with each other and then still had to snuggle in the same sleeping bag all night, so I tell my wife that my Christ apples feel like they have a sinus infection and I'm not particularly loving the feeling. She says I better take care of that shit because she pre-ordered babies that are supposed to come out of that particular fun bag factory one day, so now I asked Dr. Google about the old huevos that hurt syndrome, and naturally after 5 minutes on the internet I've learned that my nutsack pain means I have terminal cancer with chronic gangrene and I'm gonna have to get an ear amputated if I don't want my family name to end with me, in like 2 hours, typical internet diagnosis. So I deem it time to whip out the tighty whities for a while, give the man berries a little support to see if the ropes they are hanging from are just getting a bit fatigued. But a few days pass and the thought of even making a D's nuts joke has me cringing in pain, so I call up the doctor and some pissy receptionist named Becky is all like, are you bleeding out of your asshole? And I'm like, what the f? No? Then she's like, are you pissing blood? And I'm like, no, my balls hurt. Becky, do something about it. So she tells me to take a ticket because there's a lot of other pissed off people with PP pain, and that she will schedule me for an appointment with a PP doctor in 4 short eternities to get my ballsack fondled by a professional. Fast forward to my appointment date, I'm in some depressing waiting room answering questions about if my mommy ever has kidney stones when Dr. Douche Canoe himself calls me back into his dungeon for the ceremonial dick touching and diagnosis. He starts talking about something called gonorrhea and I'm all like, only after I eat too much ice cream, and he's like, no, not diarrhea. Gonorrhea. It's an STD that you can get if you are taking too many girls on trips to Pound Town. Then it gets quiet and I smile at him and he awkwardly smiles back at me, and together we agree that it's definitely not gonorrhea. Anyways, he asks a few questions about my 1 rep max on the bench and how often I'm trying to break that, gives my wrinkle purse a proper cupping, and then sends me on my way with a paper that says I get to buy some of the fancy Motrin at the pharmacy and then I'll be good. So now it's been 3 days, my little dick pillows still feel like they were just juiced, and I now got a bill for a fat $700, which is apparently the cost of having a qualified grown man feel you up in today's age, and that, my friends, is a story to go along with the phrase, busting my balls.